Hi, everyone, and it's absolutely fantastic to be here with you. I'm so sorry that I cannot be there in face to face, and in person. I would have loved to meet you and have conversations and congratulate with you personally on such an important and needed event, which is particularly crucial at this time where we are interrogating ourselves about the future with and of artificial intelligence and the role that women and girls must play to ensure that AI is used and developed responsibly, and for good. So I'm really delighted that you're meeting. You're talking about technology. You're talking about the future, and most of all, I'm absolutely delighted that you are determined to own this future. This is a very important time in the relationship between humanity and technology. Technology is going really fast. Let's just think, for example, that the huge amount of time, decades, that it took for the internet to spread, compared to, and still not everybody has got the internet. And how fast on the other side, a technology like ChatGPT, how quickly it spread and reached millions in all around the world. So the growth of these technologies is exponentially, really is exponential, and it's important that especially now we really look into what this technology means for us, for humanity, for the relationship that we want to have with technology, for what we consider as being humanity and what binds us together. It's a really exciting time. What we are seeing is a lot of countries all around the world grappling with the fast development of artificial intelligence and trying to identify ways to regulate it, to wrap some controls around it, because artificial intelligence is something that can give us huge advantages. And we are seeing this from personalized medicine to personalized learning and the ability to tailor what you're reading, what you're studying to what your needs are. Is enormous. It's really enormous. But at the same time, what we're seeing is that artificial intelligence is also bringing a little bit of a darker side in terms, for example, of the potential for these algorithms to code and softwareize existing inequalities into machines that make decisions and predictions about our societies. And we are seeing news about it, and I think is now become mainstream that AI, as well as huge potential, carries also risks that we need to be able to control. But I wanted to really start a little bit about me, because one thing that is absolutely clear to me is that we need more women in technology, and in particular, that we need more women in artificial intelligence. And I say this because we need more women to really lead in this space. And I mean more women coding, more women programming, but also more women looking at the top of businesses and what are we going to use artificial intelligence for. And not just at the top of businesses, but also in our public administration, in our governments, in our local administrations, to really look at how AI is going to be used and how it's going to transform the society that we live in. Um, we don't need AI is bringing, and it requires a lot of expertise in order to be able to for us to run it well. And the expertise that are needed, they are across a variety of areas. So of course we need technical people. So we need people who are able to code, to program AI, but we also need people who can work at the intersection between the law and technology. It can really look at how we're going to deploy these technologies in a safe manner. So, for example, look at my background. My background is in human rights law. I've always been involved in policy. I came to privacy and to the issue of data from a policy and human rights background, because to me, data collection, which was what really started to interest me at the time, data collection is never a neutral thing in the sense that um, there is always a decision to insert someone into a database and to keep somebody else out. So data that is considered so important these days, as definitely is important. Data is not neutral because it represents reality as it is. So if we are not able to look at this data in a critical way, but if we just take this data and ingest it into these systems, making predictions and decisions around us, what we're going to end up doing is to simply crystallize the present and the past into systems that make decisions about us. So my background was very much in relation to data, to privacy. And to me, privacy is not like an individual thing that I have to safeguard my own data. To me, privacy is really about valuing information as a collective good. The idea that the information that we hold together as a society can completely help us drive change for the better. Provided that we have privacy enhancing technology, that we are able to code privacy into the systems that we create. And this is why my interest has always been at the intersection between the law and technology. It's always been around privacy enhancing technologies, how we can share data safely, how we can code machine learning, privacy, and security, how we can create systems that have legal protection by and in the design. And to me, this is a wonderful area to work in. I am delighted to be the Chief Global Privacy and AI Governance Officer of Wipro, because this means that I can really work in the design stage. I can really focus on how are we going to ensure that legal protection, that privacy, the cybersecurity, robustness, they are embedded in what we are doing? How, for example, are we going to look into the systems and the algorithm that we're going to use, whether it produces outcomes that are fair, that do not discriminate against people, that do not perpetuate the existing inequalities by coding them into machine learning? How do you make sure that the systems are robust and they're robust in the design? How do we make sure that we test them, that we tested for to make sure that they are, and validate them once they are in production? So all of this requires governance, and it requires also working together with different parts of the organization, from the more technical team members to the risk managers and HR and everybody who is involved, because AI is transformational, and therefore you need people from every walk of life to be involved into the decisions on how we're going to develop it and deploy in a way which is responsible. But I'm also a fellow in privacy and machine learning at Virginia Tech, which is to me is very, very important, because I strongly believe that privacy is a crucial issue in the age we live in, and I'm delighted that India is taking the very important step, of enacting a specific privacy legislation, which builds on the fact that that privacy in India was a constitutionally guaranteed right. Um, and this is really important because we live in an age of data collection that some people call data extractivism, which is an age where data and the footprint that we all leave in our digital ecosystem, they're collected on constantly. Which is fantastic in the sense that data can really help and can really help us analyze patterns and really make prediction. But at the same time, it can lead to issues from a privacy standpoint, to micro-targeting, which can border into manipulation. And this is very important, especially in an age of disinformation, in an age where what we can see is manipulation, but is fake. For example, I'm thinking about fake news, but I'm also thinking about some graver things that we are seeing online. So, for example, the use of deepfakes to create pornography, which is a sort of enabling the sort of revenge, and as well as the silencing of women in our digital ecosystem. So this is a very, very important time where we need women involved in designing these technologies, when we need in women involved in governing these technologies, whether we need women deciding what we are going to use these technologies for, and where we need women to shape the regulation around the development, marketization, and use of artificial intelligence. So it's not just having women coding, it's having women at any stage that can work together in our society to make sure that AI is used for good. So there is no better time to be involved in this area. You can always reach out to me and the Women Leading AI Network, which is a network of women from all across the world working together to ensure that women can shape the governance, the policy around artificial intelligence. This is a very crucial time, and I hope to be able to join you physically one day. Meanwhile, it's really important that we encourage more and more to get involved into AI design, but also in the debate around what we're going to use artificial intelligence for and what our relationship with technology is going to be moving forward. Thank you so much and all the best.